All right, now we're going to really begin the process of creating the space. So the next piece that's important is putting your pencil on the dot, take your ruler and match it up against it, and then it matches up with the corner of your drawn rectangle. So I put it against there and there. Notice how it doesn't match up with the corner of the page. That's not the important part. The important part is that the dot and the corner of your drawn rectangle match together. And then you draw the line from the corner off the page. And you're going to do that on all four corners. So I'll quickly go through that here. Again, didn't match up with the corner of my paper. That's not the important part. Not matching up with the corner of my paper here either. Every once in a while it does, but this is not happening. And then last one. Make sure they're nicely lined up. And all right, so now we have a room, a big old empty room. And this is exactly what you need to be looking at to know that, okay, I've got the first important step done. All right, next step, we're going to put a television over here. So fairly basic work. We're going to take our ruler and match it up against the edge of the page. So along all this edge, we're going to make sure that it's nice and straight and just match it right up to it. That'll keep it nice and straight. And then I'm going to make a fairly large television here. Something like so. So you can see it's somewhere in the range of whatever, 8 centimeters, 6 centimeters, somewhere in there. Doesn't really matter the exact size. Yours could look like a computer monitor. It doesn't really matter. The next step is to take the top of that line and again you match it up to the dot you made. Now do this line very lightly. Very lightly. You don't want it hard at all. And then you do the same thing to the bottom. Again, very lightly. Now this is where the illusion of it going back in the space starts to really happen. So number one, we can erase all of this. We don't need it anymore. So all the way up to the wall. All the way up to the wall. And we stop there. Now, the question is, where exactly do we want the TV to end? And overall, it's not hugely important as long as it looks like a television. So we're going to take it back to somewhere about here. So I'm going to match up with this line. Why am I doing that? Just to make sure that I'm pretty straight up and down. I'm going to bring it back a little ways, centimeter or so. And then I'm going to, again, do a line from the top edge to the bottom. And now, when I erase this, I'm left with something that looks like either a window cutout or a television. Now, if I really want to make it look like a television, the best way to go about it is to now add a frame. So I match it up and then just bring it inside a little bit. And I do a straight up and down line. Okay, so now I'm getting that frame look. And so the same thing, I can do it, but I should make it smaller. So this, you see that space, it needs to be smaller back here because it went further away. So when I do this one, I match it up and just make it really small and then draw my line like so. Now here, this is still going to need to go to the dot. So make sure you match it up. It should get smaller as it goes away, both top and bottom. And there I've got, again, something that looks more like a television. Now if I want to really make it look like a television, I need to give it a back, because when we're looking at the side of it, you'd actually see something, right? Unless it's paper thin or actually plastered right into the wall. So I'm just going to sort of make that up by going out, bringing it down, and then there. So now I see the edge of the television and it makes more sense.